chicken.
It's Johnny and Pascal on an impromptu live the week of WebProud, the book launch. Pascal, we just thought we'd come online, didn't we?
Well, absolutely. And listen, thank you for using a French word, impromptu, one of my favorites on the list of words I like to introduce during the masterclasses and so on. But so, people, on Monday, we made this announcement that we were officially launching WebProud. We'll tell you a bit more about the book and actually all the work that went into it. But honestly, the reactions, the congratulations, but also the way in which you got behind the launch of the book that allowed us to actually get some really neat accolades from the Amazon platform is just something that we just wanted to do a big recap and be with you live and on replay to really say that thank you so much, really, sincerely.
Yeah, and as always, we are live on LinkedIn, we're live on YouTube, and we're live on Instagram. If you're with us right now, hello, thank you. What an unbelievable week. I mean, behind the scenes, we've been working on WebProud for nearly 2 years. I mean, it's not quite hit that, but nearly 2 years. And so this has been something that we've been very passionate about. And I think that the fact that we got over the line and then launched on Monday, but the reactions we've had, it's just so nice. But it's also we're so passionate about the content that we know what's in there is going to make big differences to websites, and I think it's hearing that feedback that people are already making notes and making changes. It's so great.
And for you and I, it's interesting because you're right, 2 years. So it started really the idea, people should know this, as an ebook. We thought, well, we've got the program, the 90-day website mastery program. We've got the audio companion series. We've got the webinars. We've got all sort of things. But maybe the written form is something that we should try and claim. And initially, I worked on an ebook because we like to make things very practical. The ebook had checklists and action plans and so on. And it became so big. I said, you know what? I think we have a proper book here, because anyway, as an ebook, it's just not going to be practical. It's going to be almost too rich in content. And we now went, well, do you know what? Actually, let's go on this voyage of discovery. What does it take to write a book, publish a book, and promote a book? And it's been just wonderful. But I know one would write a book, and we've got many pals in the community out there. We've written books before, you and I. And I know that you do write a book with a view of people reading the book. But it still is a massive, massive boost in your confidence and surprise when someone says, I've got it, I'm reading it, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, and the Amazon dashboards, reporting, throwing figures at us. It's lovely to see the reaction that it's got, and so yeah, this was about that moment that someone says to you, "What's your website address?" You could be in a meeting, face to face, online, whatever it might be. Maybe you're perhaps trying to sell something, and at that moment they said, "Oh, sounds interesting. Let me have a look. What's your website address?" And what we found over the years of all the workshops we've done, all the conversations we've done, there's a common theme where there's that pang in your stomach, which is like, oh no, don't go on my website. It's not up to date. It's not got the latest services or products. I'm not very proud of it. And that's what born WebProud, which is all about helping you feel proud of your website so that you can convert these inquiries into sales and make big differences. And as I said, it was the years of conversations and workshops and all the knowledge we've shared in that, and tried to sort of cram it into a book.
And in terms of the term book, it's a tricky one because 4 letters, and then what does that mean? So for us, you wanted something to be very practical, and I think a better description is maybe a workbook or a field notebook. So this idea of, as you go through your own reflections, and you use the checklist and more that John and I have designed for you, you should actually write things down. You should doodle. You should mark the pages. I mean, this book needs to become your own. And I know that for myself, I sometimes be very careful, but we've done all sorts in there. You've got dot journaling. You've got white pages on purpose to jot things down because you want to go back to the book on a regular basis. And if we see you in the next few months, that book should look really well used and tight. Don't worry about it. And and we've done the same with the online version. Of course, we'll talk about this. But your comment about being about by your website. So a very good friend of the program and as a colleague, Joanne Dolezal, sent a LinkedIn message saying, well done, guys. But also says that takes me back to networking when people would say to me, here's my business card, but please don't look at my website. And that was kind of the common thread all those years ago. And things have not changed much.
No, absolutely. And we've had quite a bit of an online reaction, have we not? I will try and bring some up onto the screen. I know that, well, in fact, no, this you'll all be watching if you're with us right now, and so because we're live on video. But it's let me just bring up because we've had so much interaction, haven't we, and engagement
We have
across all the different channels.
We have, and if I had literally a request to the people behind LinkedIn, please make life easier, because one thing that we would hate, you and I, is to miss somebody sending us a thank you message or congratulations. And as an example, oh my goodness, Roger Edwards, who literally put out this message out there. And what is very interesting is you and I have had people posting like this on social media, and they've all expressed it in their own words, and it's just delightful, and sometimes in ways that you and I would not think of as the very authors and creators of the book. But that's just a wonderful example, and really bear in mind that the many of the people have said well done and congratulations are established book authors themselves, so that means a lot.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Norma, what I actually am jealous about with Norma is her view of her from her kitchen window. This is her view. So that's just by on a side note. But again, hearing her take on what she's seen so far is just very nice indeed.
You've just heard and seen Johnny lost for words, and that's unusual, isn't
it? Doesn't happen often. Our good old friend Natalie M&A.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that, so launched the book officially on Monday. We do a couple of updates, and then we have a bit of a gap. But because of busy lives and so on, people are discovering the book all of the time. So this is a very recent post from Natalie and saying us a thank you. And I know that Natalie is a very creative person. I bet she's regretting not having nail varnish the same color as the front cover of the book. But
I'm loving the nail varnish. I'd noticed that. What's also happened, and this is because of you guys, totally because of you. You've all got on board and made purchases on Amazon, and the next minute in the marketing and sales category of books, not that we're in the hot new releases list, but we're number one in the hot new releases list of marketing and sales, and in the category of e-commerce and many other categories. So that was a bit of a wow moment, was it not, Pascal?
Well, quite, because actually when you finished, and thank you for working so hard in plying your way through the Amazon platform, fellow bookers will know.
Let's just pause there for a moment. I mean, publishing a book on Amazon is actually nearly as hard as writing the book. It's not an easy feat, and I was sharing with you, Pascal, yesterday that as a seller on Amazon of anything, never mind books, but as a seller on Amazon, the support that you get on the supplier side is just utterly appalling. And you might, I love Amazon. I absolutely love Amazon. Their customer support is amazing. But let me tell you, as a supplier, you couldn't be any more opposite. And from publishing a book, yeah, it's a nightmare. But sorry, I interrupted you, Pascal.
No,
where were you taking us?
And certainly, as a first-time author of sort, even though I cheekily added the term author on my profile on this live, it feels very odd, actually. I'm not ready yet to put it on LinkedIn fully. But this idea of Amazon taking a lot of the steps, so you can upload, they will take care of the printing, deliveries, and so on. It takes some of the pressure off, and then in future, may decide to go via a publishing house. But you sent an email of the screenshot of the dashboard saying it's all done. And I think you'd aged about 10 years in the process of doing that. And I think our book was numbered something like, it was just below 500,000. So a number of
Yes.
500,000 was the
Yeah.
book. That was like over the weekend. And then in a space of 48, 72 hours, we're number one hot new releases because of the level of activities on the Amazon page. So as you've said, it's all down to you, our lovely communities, colleagues, and supporters. And that was a lovely email to send to my family as well.
Yeah, for sure. We had, I mean, keep giving us these pictures. We want to see the book in real life. So here, we've got a cat. Is it Peach? I think it's Peach. Looking at the book, just arrived at someone's house, and Peach is about to start learning about websites. My good friend Roger, who's the castle man from Celtic Castles. I mean, he's done as a video testimonial. He said he couldn't put it down. He's already read it. He's already made notes. Speaking to Roger, he's always eager to excel his Celtic Castles website, and any optimizations that he can make to increase conversion and get higher in Google, for example. He is absolutely can't wait to I can understand why he's delved into it. Helen Robinson, very nice to have shared her story, and yeah, we saw Natalie's earlier as well. So yeah.
And again, that takes time. Forgive me, to go through the book and then take the trouble to do a video or a written review. So that's your preferred format and so on. But all this has kind of created, this idea of WebProud being a movement where it's within everybody's reach, so long as you have the practical information. And when we think about the reaction from Roger here, because you and I really talked a lot about the tone of voice, about the style, to make it very conversational. This should be almost like, for those of you who've had the pleasure of our masterclass, you could almost hear our voices, because this is essentially how we explain things, and there should be no difference between you and I in a room with you or reading the book, and therefore, you should find there's nothing technical, there's nothing particularly challenging in there. It's just the process of going through the 5 steps to begin with, and then from time to time dipping into the bonus sections to give you a bit more inspiration and a bit more ideas. In particular, one that you and I are particularly proud of is a year-long kind of website call to action. So one small action, one small adjustment for every week of the year, which I think you guys are going to find very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. This is the page on Amazon if you've not seen it. So all you need to do is go to Amazon and Google it. Literally just the word WebProud. If you just simply put the word WebProud into Amazon, you'll find us straight away. We've created 3 different versions: the Kindle, the hardcover, and the paperback cover. Pascal, when you received the proof of the hardback cover, I mean, how did that make you feel?
That was very special. Honestly, the touch and feely, but also this idea that it looks good, and then you go through the sections. And for you and I suppose it must be like every book authors or filmmakers, whatever. You need a bit of gap in between, finishing the work and then seeing the work. And I think many weeks had passed by the time I got the hardcover. So the memories of how hard it was to write and edit and design and so on were kind of a bit more of a distant memory. So I was able to open the book and imagine this being like a first time reader. And don't know, it was almost like the hardback was the final symbolic approval I needed to kind of write. Okay, yeah, we've written a book, and people are going to read this as well.
Yeah, for sure. So like we've said, there's practical action plans, there's detailed checklist, there's an ideas capture page, there's essential tables, and a customizable to-do list, and we've even got an area for AI solutions. And as Pascal said, there's that 52-week action plan as well, with loads of tools that we've mentioned and resources to other places as well. So yeah, it's nice to see it live, isn't it?
Very much so. And for you and I to enjoy, because I know that other book authors who've done it way before us have written several books saying, no, make sure you enjoy the launch of your book. You deserve it. You've worked very hard. You say it's nearly 2 years, and there's been all the ups and downs with the Amazon platform, and to be now in a position to share with others and enjoy the reaction. So I think up to the weekend, I certainly will have great fun responding to everybody. And thank you again for your support.
Just to bring it to life a bit, Amazon lets you have a sneak peek at some of the pages. So there's the 5 steps there, going from your website health check to the building trust on your website, attracting the right visitors, converting those visitors into inquiries, and becoming proud of your website. And then, of course, there's all the bonus content, and we ask you questions all the way through to get you to think. We've tried to break everything down so that you've got easy actionable plans and checklists. So there's a little sneak preview of some of the pages within the book.
No, very nice. And I think you're right. One thing that I'm particularly pleased with the book, I mean, all the sections are, from me and you. So, but the checklist in particular, because these are the kind of things that people are going to react well to. You could almost, read the book in different ways. You can go from cover to cover. You can dip into different sections, but you'll find that the checklist and then the action plans afterward really make you consider how those small adjustments are going to help your visitors, and as a result, for you to be proud of your website again.
For sure. So what a week. We are continuing the sale for the next, I think, 7 days. Just as it's a way to launch. It's a way to acknowledge that. What I think, to be perfectly honest, we would rather as many people get the book more than anything at this stage. And we're eager for reaction. We're eager to hear what people think. We're eager to hear feedback on what they think of the content, of what you think of the content, what you think of the format. I'm not suggesting that we're about to write book 2 next week, but but this is always a loop. We always want to get feedback, and that features into all the other things that we do as well. So for us, the goal right now is as many people to be able to read some of the content, to give us that feedback and tell us whether it's landed in terms of how you felt about your website and how you're going to improve things.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the advantages. There are other drawbacks, but the advantage of going through the Amazon as a publication, that means that you now will be able to react to the feedback and so on, and change, both the physical item and the online item. And actually, on that, if time allows, I'd like to give a quick shout out to the Kindle version, because I think people will want to potentially have both of them. One is more transportable; you can have it with you on your laptop and so on. And you and I had, we were torn about how to approach the Kindle version, because Amazon, some of you will know already, can give you some options. And we felt that we wanted to have parity between the physical item that people can doodle and scribble and circle and add post-it note, and the Kindle version. So I'm just going to go quickly into a bit of a screen share mode, if you'll allow me.
Yeah, of course.
So I've got the book, although I bought it, wouldn't I? And kind of go. So people will know that with Kindle, you can have the readers, or you can have the apps on your desktop, laptop, and mobile phones. And we went for what is called, as people know, the print replica. So literally, this parity between the physical item of the book and the different pages and what you can see on screen. And the reason why we did that is because the Kindle app version, if you will, as opposed to the Kindle tablet, if that's the right term, gives you interaction. So, for example, you could highlight an element of the action plan, and then, as you can see, some of you can add your notes, you can emphasize in color to go back to. If you were in a meeting situation and you wanted to make it a bit of a workshop scenario, Johnny, you could actually share the screen, have the action plan, and then work your way through with the team. You can go online, as you can see, and do that kind of thing. So for me, the version we went for now is backed this idea. We want it to be a filled notebook. You should have your notes, your colors, annotations, and a good thing about the way in which it's being done, you can then go back, you can explore the different sides of the books, you can fast forward to a particular section, you could bookmark them, and so on. And I think for me, that was kind of the decision we went for. So if you are a regular Kindle tablet user or e-reader user, don't despair. You can definitely download the app on phones and laptop and actually have a proper interactive experience as you would with a printed item.
Yeah, it just gives you the ability, because people do prefer writing on tablets, and it gives you the ability to be able to do that. And because this is, well, if anyone's been to any of our seminars or any of our, I'm trying to not use the word workshop, any of our training programs, anything at all, they are always workshop style, which means that you guys have to do a bit of work because nothing happens on its own. And we challenge you and we help you and we bite-size things down. And it's exactly the same as this book. This is to prompt you to do bite-size work in a strategic way that's going to make some significant differences. So we need you to interact as you're reading. It's about, right, do I need to check that? And what should I be doing in the next? We're always giving you a prompt. What should you be doing in the next 7 days, the next month, the next 3 months? And getting you to formulate the plan from a strategic point of view.
And I think what is interesting about WebProud and this being a book that others can consult and share, you could organize yourself in little groups. You can have your own mastermind group and literally bring the book, bring your laptops and websites and work together. Because I think one thing that has been a thoroughly enjoyable experience for me is to have you as a co-author. I know that other authors have gone for the solo experience, and I just didn't feel ready for that. But also, you and I have enjoyed thoroughly the launch of the program, the podcast and that kind of things. And I thought, well, that's an extension. It makes sense to me that we should kind of, close almost all kind of content format, and in the written form in this case was it. So the collaboration, when you and I would go on Zoom once a fortnight, have Zoom open, and for 2-3 hours we would type away and write each chapter, then check each other's work and so on, is also a memory that I have now, in addition to the physical and digital evidence that it exists.
For sure. Listen, this was about reflecting on what a week we've had. It's not only have we launched the book, but the reactions that we've had have just made it all the worthwhile. And it's you guys that have done that. It's you guys that have got us into that hot #1 list on marketing and sales books on Amazon. And long may it continue. And please do give us feedback. Please do go out and go onto Amazon and type in WebProud. If you want to be proud of your website, you need to read our book.
Excellent, Johnny. Thanks again. And listen, watch this space, because you know what we like, Johnny and I. We always invent new ways to motivate you, to inspire you. So we're going to continue to enjoy the book launch, but I would be very, very keen for you to pay attention to some new announcements early next year.
And of course, we're always going to leave you with a video when we finish a live, even if it was impromptu. So enjoy the video, but give us feedback, give us reviews, let us know, tag us, pictures with cats. Yeah, show us who's reading the book as well. But enjoy the weekend. Thank you so much for your support so far. We are so grateful and so thankful. This is what it's all about. It's about having a community around you. We like collaboration and working with each other. Speak to you soon. Cheers, Pascal.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.